Hey, welcome back to the show where I bring you my most amazing friends and we talk about the most amazing things that they're doing in the world. Today, I love this lady. I met her at an event that we were both speaking at, and we just had those, when you meet somebody and you have those conversations, you're like, I need to have this person in my life. Her name's Vanessa Copez. She is the one, the only CEO of Bella Media, which includes, right, The Insider, which is the new amazing magazine we're going to talk about, Beauty Awards, Bella Latina, Bella everything. And not only do we love to hang out with her, but we love to know more about her. Wait till you hear her story, because I think sometimes when we see women in the media like Vanessa, we just imagine they started out like that. But as we know, no one starts out like that. You have to build a reputation, you have to build a business. And she started by building, she was a teacher first, and then she was in jewelry, and now she's the CEO and flying around the world to Miami, to LA. And if you have a chance, go check out her, I think it's on her Facebook and her Instagram, to see the amazing outfits that she wears, because I wish I was over 5'5" and I could wear the stuff that she does, because she's just that beautiful and amazing and inside and out. We're going to talk about how she got started, how Business Insider came to be, what reality TV she likes to do, and also what's going on next for Bella Magazine. So we're going to have her on in a few minutes. And so I always want to start with whoever's watching. What got you started? What were those things that made you want to get out into the world and want to really put together what you think is important in other people in your life and other people in the community to understand? I know Vanessa is all about the chance and to do those hard things like she has, and really to be themselves out in the world. She's going to come on. There she is. There she is.
I think we're lagging a little bit, but okay.
Hey, Vanessa. Thanks so much for coming on. I'm so excited to see you.
Thank you so much. I was gonna try to put on a little filter. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be. This is what Fridays look like for me. So,
Well, I appreciate that. I was at an event this morning, so I do have a little makeup on.
yeah.
But I love, and that's what I was saying before you came on. Like, you're just a real person who's done amazing things by doing them. And
Thank
we've
you.
known, we've known each other for a little while, but I've
Yeah.
never like gone deep on who you are. I didn't know you started out as a teacher and that you were doing jewelry. Like,
So my real career, yes, educator. I have an MBA in psychology, human development. Yeah,
open.
and I taught for almost 17 years back in the Dominican Republic. So yes, and I taught ESL literature, and that's why my love for words and writing, that's where it comes from. Yeah.
That's amazing. It's just something I didn't know about you, because I knew you had bought Bella,
Yes.
and created it into what is now Vanessa's Bella. I see you flying all over the world, but I'd love to hear the story about how that came into being.
Of course. So I had once I was done with teaching. I came to live here in from the Dominican Republic after I had my first son, and underwent about a 10-month portion of after his birth with dealing with postpartum depression. I had an epiphany one morning after talking to my mom that I needed uh, to have some sort of creative outlet. And what came at that time, custom jewelry was just starting out, and I had a cousin who was designing and making it and doing really well doing it. So I said, on my next trip to the DR, I'm going to get, certified. I have a knack for fashion
Yes,
and design.
yes, you do.
So it made like perfect sense for me to do that. And I love accessories, etc. So I tell that story because the jewelry business is what led me into Bella. I was making jewelry and, getting my footing into that industry, and I started to set up like pop-up and activations at different aesthetic doctors offices around Staten Island. And after a while I landed in a position where I was able to get a piece of my jewelry into the hands of the of the former editor in chief. So I did. I sent it to her. I had coincidentally just gotten my jewelry into the hands of Denise Richards, a couple of like major celebrities. Oh my God, the girl from Friends, Courtney Cox, had gotten my jewelry, and they had sent. So that created some sort of buzz around
Yeah.
my custom jewelry business. So so then of course I had her. It was like she was
Right.
hooked because okay, there was a celebrity component. There's something here. Eventually, when we ended up connecting, she was really involved with a not for profit called Arms Wide Open, which aids children with cancer. And at that time, she was doing something really special for the mothers, and I had created these pendants for the moms. It was like 30 moms. I created
Oh,
30 pendants, and
so nice.
that's what started that relationship. And they ended up asking me to come on board as the digital marketing director, because
Oh,
I was very active in the blogging world. Blogging was not what it is now. It had just kind of started, and it was seeding and social media. There was kind of like, and I had, that's how I built my community around my business. So I had a knack for it. That's how it started. And fast forward 7 years later, when they decided to sell, I had already been in it long enough to know that this was like my next step. It was a knee-jerk reaction. It wasn't something that I was like planning, like, own a magazine.
right.
However, as a creative person and a writer, it just kind of seemed like the natural progression, because I did want to launch the Spanish version of it. So it just kind of made sense. So that's in a nutshell a little bit
Wait,
of that story.
wait, I have questions. Like,
Yes.
because you're like, well, I just got into the hands of this person, and I just got into the hands of this person. We don't need to know the step by step how
Yeah.
you did it, but what was in you to come from another country, create something else here, and you're like, and I'm going to go after celebrities. Like that's
So
like
the celebrity component, just it wasn't the goal. It was simply to just get the word out about my little business that I had started, with savings and from my kitchen table
right.
and my dream, right? Like when you say you have like, $500 in a dream, I literally had $1,500 in a dream. Like that's what I had.
That's
And I just had this
amazing.
dream of getting helping other women feel good about themselves. I knew what
Yes.
getting dressed up, just like I spoke, putting on a little bit of makeup,
Right.
or wearing a fabulous pair of earrings would do to your emotional well-being. And I wanted, other women to just feel that. And that was that.
Yeah.
It just so happened that I belonged to a networking organization at the time that was doing celebrity gifting. I literally just had this conversation with someone this morning. I said the goal is not the celebrity, is the goal is the buzz, right? The
Yeah.
goal is the marketing that's attached to it. So of course, if you like the celebrity, it's kind of like the cherry on top. But it's just creating just the synergy around what you have, and making it viable, and also that it's real, right? Like when you have someone,
Yeah.
you know you it gives you that confidence to continue to pursue other opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally understand that, and it's really such a through line for who you are, right? About empowering women. But the story about I had $1,500 and I knew I wanted to do something is such a story about that everyone listening. I know
Yeah.
your readers, but my audience as well. Like we all had an idea at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Like our kids are around the same age, and my
Yeah.
son said to me recently, he was like, when I don't think I can do this, or I don't think I'm going to make anything out of myself, I remember that you created a business from the kitchen table. And he's like, and that
That's
keeps him going.
amazing.
Right. Well,
That's
I
amazing.
always say to
Yeah.
young moms, like, they're watching, right?
Of course.
They're really paying attention,
Yeah.
but
Well,
it's that
and
like,
just yesterday, my son said, "Mom, I have to create a magazine for my history class." And I'm looking at him and I'm like, "I think I can help you with that." And he was like, "Oh, I know. You're going to print it in like magazine paper." And I'm like,
yes,
"Yes, of course." He's like, "I tell everyone my mom owns a magazine. What other mother do you know that owns a magazine?" I'm like, "Okay, child, like take it easy." But it was a really kind of like I
I love
I I I,
that.
I chuckle just because they are always watching for sure.
They are.
Yeah.
And that they pay, right? I just helped my son with a website for his media class, so I'm totally with you on that. But I think that these stories and sharing that kind of stuff really helps empower, which is big. Like one of your big things is empower other women
Yes.
to just take a chance, start telling people that what you're interested in, and also like the strategic the strategic side of it. I can't even speak this morning. I'm so excited to talk to you. Like I love this lady. The strategic side of it. And I know we spoke recently because I was so excited about Bella Insider.
Yeah.
Like not only because everyone knows how I love reality TV. I don't know if you're a reality girl
Uh,
or a TV girl.
so the funny thing is that I'm actually not.
I didn't think
And
so.
I'm not. And for a very long time, I had not an aversion to it. It was just, I'm definitely more, I gravitate to more, authors,
Right.
inspirational leaders, business owners, entrepreneurs. And I have to say that over the years, the characters in these shows have woken me up to the reality that they are also
Yeah.
entrepreneurs and they're authors and they're mothers and they're business owners. So I started to just pay attention and a degree in psychology will do that to you. I started to just observe behavior, right? Like,
Yeah.
so what is it that is attracting people to our readership? What is it that is attracting people to our events? What's the common thread here? And a lot of it was reality TV. And I said, obviously, there's something here because people are watching and they're paying attention. And it was really fascinating to see how this idea just kind of blossomed. I recently partnered with Dr. James Mercer for two different territories of Bella, which are LA and
Yeah.
Texas. And it just so happens that his wheelhouse is reality TV stars. And I was like, because I call him my husband. He's my husband.
Nice.
And I said, because he had all of this incredible people available and, that wanted to be in. And I'm like, but Bella isn't reality
Right.
TV focused. So one morning I just woke up and I was like, you know what? Let's call it the Bella Insider and just make it all reality TV focused, but without the drama and the gossip. We want to really
Right.
highlight these people for who they are, what they've accomplished. And I have to tell you, this first issue, I literally before I got on this call just finished overlooking the layout and it is stunning. I am so proud of the
Oh.
work that we have put into this because not just is it stunning, it's a beautiful, beautiful book. But you think you know everything about these people because they're on TV and they're sharing their lives, but you would be pleasantly surprised to learn, this other side that not a lot of these other outlets focus on. They're more focused on the drama and who pulled whose
Sex.
hair and all of that. But I will share Mary and Romaine Bonnet from Selling Sunset are our cover stars, and we spent an incredible day with them, and they are just beautiful outside, but they are even more so on the inside. Such kind, gracious people, and I'm super excited. So I know that it's going to land really well with anyone who is reality TV obsessed. And it's a beautiful publication. So I'm really excited about it.
Well, of
Yeah.
course it's beautiful because it's coming from Bella. But it's funny you say that because I am a reality watcher. I've always
Yeah.
like from real world, from the
Yeah.
80s, the
Well,
90s, that kind of
that
stuff.
and that and that was my introduction to reality TV, and I
Yeah.
was obsessed with the real world, like
Yes.
obsessed with it, obsessed, and it kind of enamored me into this life in New York City because I watched it when I lived still in the Dominican Republic.
Oh,
So
okay.
for me, it was kind of like that aspirational of, oh my God, one day I'll be there. But I do indulge here and there in some, I loved Selling Sunset when it first came out. It was
Mhm.
still a fan of that show. I just don't watch, I don't follow it like religiously.
Right.
Like there are people who
Yeah.
watch it every single time. I know that if Jennifer is listening, she'll every Monday she'll text me, are you watching The Bachelor? I'm like, nope. Not today. But it's a
No,
running
good
joke
one.
every Monday because she's obsessed with it. So I understand it. I understand that there's an
That's so
obsession with
funny.
it. And it's a fun, listen, it's a fun form of entertainment. So
It is.
more power to it for
I
sure.
love
Yeah.
it. My husband
Yeah.
actually loves, he's going to kill me, but he loves The Bachelor and Bachelorette. Like, I don't make him watch it. And Love Island. Like, he loves, but he
Oh
also
my
loves
God.
the sociology of
Yeah.
it and the psychology of it.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, I don't think this is what most people are watching it
Well,
for, but
and
okay.
but but that's the thing. There was one occasion where I binged Love is Blind,
Mm,
and I
that-
have to tell you, the psychology behind that show
right.
is pretty impressive. And I was fascinated about, the reactions
Yeah.
and learn, and like just watching people behave the way that they did under these circumstances was just fascinating to me. And I binged it like in 2 days. I was like, okay, okay, so you have my vote. I like it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
But I
yeah,
love that you're going to take the stance of like, these are real women who are
yes,
moms and who are, because I met, when I was on WPIX last month, I
yeah,
met Sutton
yeah,
Strack, and she was like, oh, I love cocktails. She had mentioned that to the producer. So of course I waited till after her segment, and that's why I have a picture with her, because I
yeah,
gave her my book. And the conversation we had was about business.
yeah,
She was like, tell
yeah,
me more about your business, and
yeah,
how and I'm telling her I do visibility. And it was like,
yeah,
it wasn't, I think, like the normal conversation about like, tell me about Kyle and
yeah,
Lisa,
yeah,
all
yeah,
the people on the
for
show.
sure.
But
Yeah.
and so afterwards I went and looked her up a little bit more. She's an amazing businesswoman. And a lot of
Yeah.
these women start businesses after they've been on. I like Sutton because she started it before. It's been for a while. And highlighting like, now, yes, they have money, but now they have money, right? They built
Yeah.
these businesses. It's not like,
But
it's
also
not the Hollywood business.
maintaining that lifestyle doesn't come by just
No,
being on a TV show. And
no.
that's a lot of what people I think miss. I've had this conversation a lot over the past few weeks because I've been in LA probably for the past
Yes.
3 weeks
In a way.
straight.
Right.
And you can't unsee it because everybody's there. And um you know the good, don't get lost in the glitz and the glamour of it, because that's just one aspect of it. And to maintain that, to be a part of that world, it takes work, and it's actual work. It's a different type. It's not a 9 to 5 where you're in there, but that's also part of it too. You have to follow up, you have to be consistent, you have to show up. And to maintain, some people, I remember Kim Kardashian on an interview one time said, looking good is my business. And it
Yep.
is. That is her job, to look good. And that means going to the gym every day, getting treatments. That is her job. That is what brands pay her to do, is to look good. So don't knock it. And if it's, if you're not hurting other people while you're doing it, more
Well,
power to you. So
yeah,
yeah.
all good for you. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm like so excited to meet the insider because I know it's going to be smart. It's not about, right. It's not about the flashiness. It's about them being actual people,
Yes.
and you have fashion in there
Yeah.
and empowerment pieces and beauty and style and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of style, can we talk about the jumpsuit that you wore recently? Woo!
Well, which one? Because I've worn them quite a bit.
The,
I
the one
super
with the no
thrilled.
back, the green one. There's
Um,
three of. Oh wait,
yeah.
I was like, can I
So,
please be tall like Vanessa?
but
And like,
here's the thing: you would be pleasantly surprised to learn that the founder of that brand is like 5'2",
yes,
and she is very petite. And her concept and idea behind it was, she started it during COVID. She was working mom also, but still wanted to look fabulous, but feel like she was in yoga pants,
right.
right? And the material is made out of workout material, so what you're wearing is literally like you're wearing tights, like yoga
Oh,
pants. It feels like
wow.
you're wearing sweats, but you look fabulous, and it holds
Yes.
you in all the right places. So you don't have you like can really feel confident, look really good, and just go on about your way and just like zip it up and walk out the door. But it's, yeah, Lee Evans Lee is the founder, Miss Mama Wear Workwear, and they're separate. And people will stop me because people think I'm wearing two different pieces, and I'm like, it's a jumpsuit, and they are unbelievable. Like, they're just like blown away by how good it looks, because it just, the quality is amazing, and the feel, and it's just beautiful. So yeah, Miss Mama Workwear, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, I'll put it in the caption, but it goes
Yeah.
back to exactly what you're saying. I love your Wednesdays where you just give
Yeah.
us a moment, right?
Thank
That is the
you.
inspirational moment where I'm like, Vanessa gets me. That's why I love her. Because, right, but
Thank
you're not
you.
being about flashy. And I would just love for you to talk about like where that comes from or why you do it, because consistency is the key. And
Yes.
it's just a little pieces of inspiration. And it's
So
a picture of who you are,
yeah,
really.
it's thank you for bringing that up, because honestly, after I've been doing it for almost 2 years
And
now, and it started. It was the idea of one of my former social media managers. She's like, make Wednesdays your thing. You're working out. You're always sharing like pieces of
yeah,
advice. But do it consistently through video, because that way it'll also keep you,
Right.
going and fresh. And I said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it from a very authentic place. I mean, which is where I believe that I come
Yes.
from. And I can't be, done up. I can't have lashes. Like, it has to be real, just like I am speaking to you today, because I think people need to really understand that one thing doesn't come without the other, right? Like, I don't show up with done hair and a full face of makeup at 6 o'clock in the morning to do yoga. It's just not
Not you.
conducive, and it
Right.
isn't real.
Yeah.
So I've stayed true to that, and there are days where I look worse than others, but you know what? I sometimes will aid myself with a filter, when I'm feeling a little self-conscious about the dark circles, because they're real. Um, but the hope is that you see not a side of just not of me, but a side of like women, right? That this is what it actually looks like to not just run a business, but run a family, and in the pursuit of living your best life, right? Like, this is what it looks like. It looks like work. It wears overalls. It looks like very late night sometimes, or very early morning some days. And I've tried to really be consistent about it. There was one Wednesday where I was getting surgery, and I still went and I did it, just because these are the things that are happening, and I have to be committed to it. But I can't begin to tell you, which is why I'm so grateful you brought it up, how many people will reach out to me because of these Wellness Wednesday videos. I've had girls, young girls, who have seen it and have applied to work for Bella because of it. I have,
Oh,
partnerships that have come because of it. They're like, and that's me.
yeah, I know.
And that's just who I am. And I'm just humbled and grateful that it has resonated with
Yeah.
people, and that it's touched people, and that maybe what I say can be of service. Because it's, sometimes I don't have the answers, and I'll say it, I don't even know what this is, but I'm just sharing it in case somebody knows and can tell me. But I've shared everything from, my struggles with eating disorders to mental health,
Yeah.
and even business advice, because I feel like a lot of our, following are women who are, seeking businesses or entrepreneurship. So, and visibility, you never know who you're touching and who is listening on the other side of the interwebs, so I'm
Yep.
grateful for that.
You
Yeah.
don't know. Well, we're grateful for you. And I know that you're going to get a lot more pitches from my audience because now they're like, wait a minute, I love her too. How can I be involved with Bella? How
Thank
can I pitch
you.
Bella? You're going to get a lot more emails. They're going to say, I heard you on Beth's show, and this is why
Yeah.
I think you're
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank
Because, right,
you.
because a lot of women in your position are not going to show up without the lashes, right?
Yeah.
Are not going to talk about the real story behind it.
Yeah.
And that's why I was
Yeah.
drawn to you. And that's
Yeah.
why we're friends, because I was like,
Oh, thank
you're a
you.
real
No,
person. And I,
it's just, listen, at the end of the day, I think that you do more damage to yourself than good if you're taking yourself out of a opportunity because you don't feel confident enough to just show up without the lashes. I've had it even happened to me, as a mother. I think a lot of new moms take themselves out. They create a scenario of self-sabotage because they haven't been able to find help or support. I used to show up at board meetings with my baby, and I said, "Listen, it was this or not show up at
right.
all. So I'm here. Let's get to work." And I promise you that in 20 minutes we'll get more done than if you had me for a full hour. And that's what I would hope, is that women advocate for themselves enough that they know that they don't have to take themselves out of the equation just because they have a baby or they have a scenario that doesn't fit into what is expected, right? Trust me, I showed up to many meetings with a 6 month old, and people looked at me like I had 10 heads, and I was like, well, you're not taking me out of this opportunity because I couldn't come because my babysitter just canceled, so I'm here. So let's do this. So
And
yeah.
you do it. And I know that a lot of women are inspired by you. No, to be complete, like, I'm always honest on these calls, but I was having on Monday, I was having one of those days like, I can't do this. I'm done. And I did. I came across one of your Wednesdays, and I was like, okay, if Vanessa can feel like this, I can have a day like I feel like this. And
Yeah.
I would have texted you, but I know you were in LA and crazy. I didn't want to bother
Yeah.
you. but it was like, and I can't imagine how many other women you do that for. So please keep doing them. Do not
Oh
stop
my
doing them.
God, thank you. And I will. I will. I don't know where the next time zone I'll be at
No,
to do it, but I promise
got
that
it.
I will, because I always say we don't realize how much what we're putting out, aside from what it does for others, what it can actually do for you, right? And I feel myself, I feel empowered, and I feel fortunate to just be able to share, little pieces of me here and there that could hopefully help someone else.
Well, you do. You
Yeah.
empower the rest of us, and you now you have Miami. Well, you have
Yeah.
Latina. You have Bella Magazine, Bella Latina, Bella Miami, Bella LA. You have the Beauty Awards now. Bella Insider.
Yeah.
What is next for Vanessa?
Um, I would like a
What?
vacation.
I like that answer.
That would be nice.
Do you get one of
No, all
those?
joking aside, because I feel like it's also detrimental to all of us. If I were to say, that busy is always good, I do take really
Yeah,
good care of myself. There are weeks where my self-care is not as consistent simply because I have to, I'm traveling and I'm yet jet lagged, but I do give myself time, the opportunity to rest, to unplug, to decompress, because as you know, in this very digital era, we get scroll fatigue, right? We're either on our phones too much, and I do have like hard stops in the evening where I am full blown mom and I make dinner and I'm with my children. The weekends are examples of that also. Like, you won't see a lot of activity coming from me on the weekends because they're off limits. I'm only involved on a weekend when I absolutely have to be. But when I say what's next as a vacation is, I would really like just three, four. I only need 3 days where I am
okay,
fully disconnected and unplugged, just so I can
good.
recharge and refuel. It's actually an exercise that I do several times a year, because it is where I source
Cool.
from my creativity. I need those days to just kind of like reset. But I mean, as far as what's next with Bella, I have to like, we are mapped out. I'm already planning 2025. Like, I'm mid 2025, which is exciting because it's just March. Like, the year just
Yes.
started and I'm literally already mapping out 2025, and I'm like mid-year in 2025. So it's a lot of really exciting things, but these are the things that I prayed for, right? Like,
Yeah.
these are the things that I've been aligning myself with, working towards, traveling for,
Yep.
begging the universe for. Like, I did what you asked me to. Now it's your turn to deliver. And it's twofold. Like, I'm gonna give you the silliest example, but I almost teared. Like, I was almost in tears. And when I drove into my driveway, I've been um trying to find a cleaning service for my home because I've been traveling so much and I need help at home. And it just so happened that I was coming home, turned the corner, and there were three cleaning ladies with their names and businesses like plastered all over their t-shirt, and I'm like, my God, did you literally just send me this to me?
Yeah. Thank
But
you.
it just so happened they were coming out of one of my neighbors that I actually really trust. So I'm like, okay, so if she uses her, I don't even have
Right.
to ask for a referral, because this is golden. And that's what you put out, and like, the things that you need, the things
Awesome.
so that you're
Right.
able to move into your next thing. I need support and I need help. So I couldn't have asked for like an easier way to get that, and I got the business cards too. Like, I stopped, pulled over, she gave me the cards, and she's coming this
Awesome.
afternoon to my home. So I'm relieved,
Good.
because that's one thing off my to-do list for the next few weeks. But it's to your point, you have to work, you have to do
Right.
the work. And because the manifesting and the asking of the universe doesn't just come by
No.
asking, you have to put yourself out there, ask the questions. I always say the worst thing that someone can say is no, and if it's not no, it's probably no right now,
Yeah.
or not you. And I always say also, if it's not you, it's going to be someone else, so why not you?
Woo!
So
God. Preach. I say
why
that
not
all the
you?
time.
You
Thank
know?
you. Thank
Yeah.
you for saying that. It's why not you. This is the thing that I sometimes get mad about. That connotation of like it's okay to be small or the universe is going to provide. Yeah, the universe provides for you when you actually make steps to
To
get
get
there. It'll give you the
it.
nudge, right? It'll help you get there.
Yeah.
But if you can't believe in the why not me,
Yeah.
instead of the why me, you're not going to
Yeah.
get anywhere. And that's why we need
Not.
women like you in the world to remind us, and hopefully women like me too
Yeah, well,
in the
like you
world.
too, because you're out there. Listen, ever since I've met you, I've seen you hustling just as hard and putting yourself out there in ways that, this concept that entrepreneurship is just kind of like this given thing. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. And not everybody is. And women, unfortunately, 2 or 3 years into their business, give up and decide to like close out shop. And my thing is, you got to stick it out, align yourself with the right community, the right people, to help you get to your next level. And they're out there, and we're waiting for you, and we want to help and we want to support.
Yeah.
And just because we haven't paid attention to the one email you sent, follow up and send it again, because it may have been just, it either went to spam or I didn't see it. Some people are like, but I've emailed you 10 times. And I'm like, well, if it's in my spam and I haven't seen it, I'm so sorry. And I try to check my spam at least, every few weeks. But until the person outright tells you no, I learned that from Lynette, my business partner, until
Yes.
literally they say no, then you stop. Then you stop, because they literally said no. But if you haven't heard back, or if you haven't, or they say, follow up with me in
Right.
a couple of weeks or in a couple, do that. Follow up, be consistent in that, for sure.
Yes, I appreciate that so much, because I actually have in the bottom of, like, when I work with my private clients, it says you don't give up to you get a no. You're not desperate. You're just continuing to do the work,
Of course,
right?
you're
And
not. No.
I've been pitching major TV shows for years. One day I will
Yes.
get a yes,
Yes.
right?
100%.
You
a
know,
hundred percent.
but now all you ladies, you better be pitching Bella magazines, because
I'm
she
here.
just
We're
told you.
here.
She just told you what to do. Uh, Vanessa, thank you so much for coming on this little show. I started this as like, I'm just going to invite my friends to come talk to me, and I'm so glad I
Amazing.
can count you as one of them.
Thank you.
Go buy business Bella Insider. When
Yes.
is it coming out or be
We
available?
release the cover officially digitally next week, and for sale, it'll be available on April 1st. If you subscribed, you'll automatically get it to deliver to your home. But we get to celebrate with our cover stars, Mary and Romaine, on April 9th in California, in LA, and at the Godfrey Hotel in Los Angeles and
Woo.
Hollywood. And it's all super exciting. So, again, these are things that you pray for, you ask the universe for, and it's been delivering twofold for us. So really thrilled about that, and can't wait.
I can't wait either. I can't wait to get my little copy. So
Yeah.
everyone watching, get your copy next week. What I want you to do, because I always like to give a little homework, is when you get your copy, a little photo with you,
Yes.
tag Vanessa, tag Bella,
Would love
tag me,
that.
so we can help Bella Insider not just be another magazine that Bella put out, but one of the best magazines out there for
Amazing.
reality, for style, for fashion, for all the
Yeah.
things Vanessa encompasses. Vanessa, I adore you. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming on.
you.
Hopefully, I'll see you in person soon.
Yes. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Thank you so much for
Bye,
having me.
everybody.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.